Old age often arrives quietly, much like a soft breeze on an autumn evening. It doesn't announce itself with loud fanfare or dramatic events. Instead, it slips in gradually, taking hold through subtle changes, slower steps, more frequent aches, and those small moments when you reach for something and find yourself unable to grasp it quite as easily. The reality of getting older, while inevitable, can sometimes feel like a bittersweet journey. It's filled with memories of the past, the ache of lost time, and the quiet realization that things will never be quite the same again. But amidst all of these changes, there's an essential truth that often gets overlooked: old age is not an end. It is the beginning of a new chapter, one full of new opportunities, self-discovery, and the chance to embrace life in a way that is uniquely yours. Let's take a closer look at Mr. Williams' life, a 74-year-old retired aerospace engineer from the United States, living alone in a small log cabin near a vast forest in the Pacific Northwest. His life has been one of great achievement. He worked on high-profile projects that required precision and attention to detail. He traveled extensively for work and had a career that most people could only dream of. But as the years have passed, his life has slowed down. His wife passed away 8 years ago, his children have grown up and moved away, and his friends, once close, have either passed on or are too far away to stay in regular contact. These days, Mr. William wakes up to the quiet sounds of the forest. He no longer feels the hustle and bustle of city life. The busy days spent in meetings, writing reports, or collaborating on groundbreaking aerospace technology seem far removed from his current reality. Now, he spends his mornings by the window, watching the fog slowly lift from the trees and feeling the weight of time pressing in on him. His phone rarely rings, and the once bustling house is now eerily silent. Every night, he finds himself alone at the dinner table, savoring a solitary meal and reminiscing about the days when he was surrounded by family and friends. One evening, during an interview with a local community outreach program, Mr. Williams shared his thoughts on aging. "I'm not afraid of growing old. I'm afraid of being forgotten. I miss the days when I was needed. When I could make a difference. Now, I'm not sure what my purpose is." His words resonated deeply with everyone who heard them. Mr. Williams' fear is a common one among many elderly individuals, especially in societies where youth is celebrated and the elderly often feel sidelined. While many of us live our lives surrounded by the noise of technology, work, and social commitments, the elderly are often left in the quiet corners, struggling with isolation and a lack of meaningful interaction. This issue is not unique to Mr. William. Across the United States, there are millions of elderly people living in isolation, despite having all the material comforts they could ever need. The reality is that money cannot replace the need for connection, for love, and for human interaction. It is in these quiet moments when we are forced to reflect on our own aging process that the significance of companionship and belonging becomes so apparent. Take the story of Maria, a 68-year-old woman from New York City. Like many people, she found herself grappling with the realities of aging. Her children were grown and had moved out, her career was long over, and the constant hum of city life began to feel distant. At first, Maria felt a deep sense of loss. The once busy calendar filled with social gatherings and family events was now empty. She found herself spending long afternoons staring at the walls of her apartment, unsure of how to fill her days. The loneliness crept in slowly, a constant companion that overshadowed her thoughts. However, Maria didn't let that loneliness define her. She began searching for ways to connect with others, and that's when she found an online community specifically for older adults. It was a space where people of all ages could share stories, ask questions, and exchange experiences about life after 60. Maria initially joined the group to simply find someone to talk to. What she didn't expect was that she would find an entirely new sense of belonging. Through the online group, Maria began participating in discussions about aging, wellness, and ways to stay engaged with life. She signed up for a yoga class for seniors, started learning watercolor painting, and even joined a cooking class specifically for older adults who wanted to make nutritious, easy-to-prepare meals. Little by little, her life began to change. The loneliness that once consumed her was replaced with new friendships, shared experiences, and a renewed sense of purpose. Maria's journey is a reminder that the path to fulfillment in old age doesn't need to be limited to our immediate surroundings. Often, the solution lies in finding new opportunities to learn, grow, and connect with others. Life after retirement or in the later years of our life doesn't have to be defined by isolation. In fact, some of the most enriching relationships and moments of joy come from stepping outside of our comfort zone and seeking out those who share similar interests and passions. Old age, in its essence, is not a time for stagnation, it's an opportunity for rebirth. It's a time to rediscover passions you might have set aside for years, perhaps a long-forgotten hobby or a dream you've never fully explored. It's the perfect moment to ask yourself, what do I want to do with the time I have left? It's also the time when you can focus on taking better care of yourself. Embracing healthy habits, such as eating nutritious foods, staying active through gentle exercises like walking or yoga, and prioritizing your mental health, is essential to living a fulfilling and comfortable life in old age. The truth is, old age often brings a sense of liberation. No longer are we bound by the pressures of career, raising children, or meeting societal expectations. Instead, we are free to live for ourselves, pursue the things that bring us joy, and focus on our own well-being. The relationships we build in our later years, whether through family, friends, or community, become more significant than ever. Yet, the most solid support for old age is not found in financial assets or healthcare benefits. The most vital form of support comes from a deep sense of connection and purpose. That feeling of being valued and needed, whether in the context of family, a group of friends, or an online community, is what provides the emotional resilience that helps elderly individuals thrive. In many ways, the elderly have a unique opportunity to look back on their lives, assess their experiences, and embrace the idea that they still have so much to offer the world. Whether it's passing down wisdom to younger generations, mentoring someone in need, or simply offering a kind word or smile to someone who might be struggling, these small acts of kindness create a powerful legacy of love and connection. Let's take a moment to reflect on the elderly people in our own lives. How often do we take the time to check in on them? To ask how they're doing, to listen to their stories, or to simply share a meal with them? The elderly may not always voice their needs, but they deeply crave human connection. And just as much as they need us, we need them. The connections we build in our later years can enrich our lives in unexpected ways. Whether through volunteering, starting a new hobby, or simply reaching out to others in your community, these efforts not only bring us closer to those around us but also provide a sense of fulfillment that cannot be replicated by material wealth or physical possessions. Imagine waking up every morning, and instead of dreading aging, you feel proud of what you have lived. You realize that you don't need to keep up with social or material standards. Old age is a time when you can slow down, enjoy the simple things, and appreciate yourself more than ever. Sometimes, we don't realize that the people around us may need the same connection. Surely, when you step out into the world, even with a small gesture like calling an old friend or taking an online class, you will realize that old age is not the end. It is a time to live authentically, to give and receive love, and to pass on valuable lessons to future generations. When you find friends in your community, when you start learning new things, when you discover joy in small moments, you will realize that old age is truly a time to live. And in those moments, when you feel that joy, you will see that life is beautiful, no matter how old you are. Finally, if you are feeling a little lonely today or unsure about what to do when you get older, know that you are not alone. Start your day, open yourself up to new opportunities, and remember that even in your later years, you can still live a full and meaningful life. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to like, share it to spread it to those around you, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell to receive the latest videos. Also, feel free to leave your comments and share your experiences so we can exchange ideas and discuss them together. Likes, comments, shares, and subscriptions give me the motivation to create the most engaging videos for you. See you in the next video.